everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Heather the Confetti Stitcher. Today is December 26th, Thursday, I think. Yes, it's almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and today we're going to go over our plans video for 2025. It's not going to be a super long video, but because I really don't have any plans. But the main things we're going to be doing are the Heaven and Earth Designs 2025 Stitch Along, and we're doing Drinks on the Beach. And my other focus piece is Heaven and Earth Designs Freebie Sea Turtle. I think it was just Sea Turtle, but we called it Sea Turtle Mama. And this was a stitch along I started 2022, maybe? Excuse me, with some other friends. I'm still getting over a cold. So, this year we are doing Yahtzee to get stitches for these two. We're also doing WIPGO, and we are doing a spin for that, which, let me pause, which I'm going to be doing on my Kindle, which I just had to go grab from the other room. So WIPGO, if you are not aware, is I don't even know what you call it, an event, sort of, that was started by Jessie Marie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff. There's a Facebook group, and here's what my board looks like. The idea is that you can pick whatever goals, projects, whatever, basically, that you want to use to play. So I'm trying to cut out my coughing. And you play however you want. So she calls 2 numbers a month, and the free space, if that gets called, you can put another project in there if you want. And if it gets, and in the case that gets called, 2 more numbers will be called that month. So the free space will have 3. In my case, what I'm doing is I have 12 projects, not counting my 2 focus pieces. So I just put them all in here twice. And the way that I'm going to do it is I'm going to spin a wheel, and that's going to determine how many stitches I do on those pieces. I'm going to spin the wheel twice, except for one project, which I'll explain in a minute. I'm spinning the wheel twice. If I get different numbers, then I'll choose which ones I want to go to which projects. These are a mix of everything I have, so full coverage, non-full coverage, tent stitch, full cross, all that stuff. The only difference is going to be my Sparkling Peacock chatelaine, and that is because the center motif is completely done except for the beading. So for Sparkling Peacock, I won't spin the wheel, and instead I'm going to do half of the beads for each time it gets called. So that way, by the end of next year, I will have a completed center motif. Now you can see that Sparkling Peacock and Fairy Tale Bookshelf, that's what that says, right, have both been called already for me, so numbers 20 and 11. So we're going to go ahead and spin the wheel for my bookshelf. So I downloaded the Spin the Wheel app, and I put a bunch of numbers between 500 and 2,000, with the 500 and the 1,000 having more chances. That way, all my pieces should get 1,000 stitches by the end of next year. So we are going to spin. And of course, we get 2,000. So we're going to put 2,000 stitches on Fairy Tale Bookshelf. So I just went ahead and wrote on here how many I'm going to be doing for each one. So I just put half the beads. I accidentally circled this one because I wasn't paying attention, so I'm just gonna have to remember that that one's not called yet, but that should be pretty easy. So what I do is I circle them as they get called, and then I'll cross them off once I finish them. So it'll look like this when it's done. And then as to how we're playing Yahtzee. So I'm going to flip you over so that you can kind of see what my setup is. Okay, let's see how this works. I think I have everything orientated right. So I basically just I took a regular Yahtzee card, which I'm actually going to, once I'm done with this card, I'm going to print out more and make them actual size. Because the Yahtzee papers are pretty flimsy, but just wrote my 2 projects up here on the top. And then we're going to go ahead and roll so you can see. So this is going to be how many stitches I'm going to be doing for each piece. And I'm going to be doing them times 100. So this is going to be for drinks. I'm going to be playing each one like I'm going to win. So we already have a small straight. And we're going to stay with a small straight. So that will give me $30 times 100 is going to be 3,000 stitches. So over here on my drinks, I'm starting it off with a small straight, 3,000 stitches. Now this is how I'm going to keep track of what I'm doing. So I'm going to, as I stitch every day, I'm going to write the number of stitches that I got, and then I will add them up and just keep track as I go down. These are the stitches from, or these are the pages from the Happy Planner from the monthly planners. So it's basically just like a checklist. So now let's go ahead and roll for turtle. So the way, if you've never played Yahtzee before, it tells you exactly how to score down this side, but you roll all 5 and then you pick which ones you want to keep. You roll the rest and then you pick which ones you want to keep from that and then roll the rest. I realize this might be loud on camera, so I didn't think about that, but I apologize. So we've got, I think I'm going to keep my 4s. Let's try for a full house. Okay, so now we have some decisions to make. So I think I'm going to go for my 2s, I guess. So if you're going for your 2s, you just count up and add only your 2s. So in this case, we have 4 2s, or 4 in 2s. Which times 100 will give us 400. Oops. 2s, 400. Now you do get bonuses if you get 3 of all of these, which I obviously didn't, but I can make it up later. Then you get an extra 35 points you can put up here. So I will count these as well. So if I were to get my top, I'd do 3,500 on it. If you get a Yahtzee, that's 50 points. If you don't get, or if you get more than one Yahtzee, then it can count for other things. So if I got a Yahtzee with 6s, for instance, I could put them up here on my 6s and do 30. Or I could put them as, you can't do them for like things like the small and large straights or the full house, but you can do 3 and 4 of a kind. So even if you have 5 of a kind, you can still count it as a 4 of a kind. You also have chance, which if nothing works out, I could have done my chance on this last one, but I like to save my chance for if there's like, as it gets closer to the end. And then if you do get Yahtzee more than once, it counts both as that, and you get a bonus 100 points. So these are our starting numbers for when Drinks on the Beach comes out. I will count that as my New Year, New Start, even if it comes out early. I'll start stitching on it early. And I will complete both of these sets before I do another round of Yahtzee. That way it'll just keep me motivated to not focus on one project. And then once I finish a game, I will kind of see how it's going, reevaluate. And if I finish a project early, I have a project waiting in the wings that I will transfer in. That's not obviously going to happen for a while, but yeah, so that is how this year is going to go. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. I think I covered everything I wanted to talk about. So yeah, it should be a pretty easy start to the year. And I will change things if I need to, but I think this should be pretty easy to go along with. And should keep me motivated. So thank you all for hanging out with me, liking and subscribing, and I will see you all next time.